Hey guys, welcome back. This is Frank, and welcome to the second episode of Snake Game Tutorial with Frank. In the last episode, we talked about the user interface of the Snake game and some main elements and steps of the game. And today we'll be focusing on the actual coding part. So, what we are gonna do today is to create the canvas that we need for the Snake game. So let's go ahead and dive right into coding. Alright, so here I have my IDE. I'm using PHP Storm, but you can use any IDE you want. And let's go ahead and create a new HTML file here. Let's call it index.html. Here we have the main index.html. This will be the main web page that our Snake game will be on. And then we're gonna create a new JavaScript file. So the thing is, you can write your JavaScript inside your HTML file, but I would say for management purposes, if you put it as an external file, it will it will be easier for you to look for the actual script part. This will be especially efficient if you're writing like a large amount of code and you can find it here and there. So we'll create a separate JavaScript file. We'll call it snake.js, and we will be creating a new style sheet as well. We'll call it styles.css. Same thing, you can put it in HTML file, but it will be easier for you to look for the style part if you put it as an external file. So enough talking. Let's add the default code over here. The title will change it to Snake Game. And here, here's the body part of the HTML document. And as we said, we'll be focusing on canvas today. So what we actually need is to create a canvas using the canvas tag. So canvas is a new feature in HTML5 that allows developers to use JavaScript to control the what they draw onto the canvas. So you're actually drawing onto the canvas or making the computer to draw on the canvas. And for the canvas here, we'll give it an ID so it's easier to look up in JavaScript. We'll call it main canvas. It can be anything you want actually. I'll call it main canvas here. And we're gonna give it a height of 300 pixels and a weight of width of 300 pixels. So here we have our canvas. Now if we run the actual thing, there's nothing there. It's blank. Well, technically, it's not blank. If you use the debug window, we can see that there is a main canvas. It says main canvas, but we don't see a thing there. That's because we did not set the background color or the border color of the canvas. So it's kind of transparent and invisible, and we don't know, we can't actually see where it is. If you change the background color of the file to like another color, you'll actually see nothing here as well because, well, it's transparent. So in order to fix this, we will define the border color and the background color of the canvas in our JavaScript file. So let's define first a constant. For anyone who doesn't know JavaScript yet, const is a keyword for constant, and we will name this constant main canvas. And we will give it a value of document get element by ID main canvas. All right. So what this means is that we will get the element by its ID, which is main canvas. So this thing actually declares a constant main canvas that equals to the element. So main canvas is not a value, but it's an element, and we can use this element and its properties, but I will explain that later when we do the actual coding part. So we will also define a constant called canvas border color. Let's try canvas BD for border color, and we will define the border color as black, which is 6 zeros hex code, and we will also define the background canvas BG as white, so it will be FFF 6 Fs. It will be white. All right. So we have a main canvas element. We have the background color and the border color of the canvas. Now, a very interesting thing we're gonna do here is we will get so-called the context of the canvas. Let's say canvas context will equal to main canvas dot get context. Oops, caps on. Get context, which is called 2D. All right. So here, what it means is that we define a constant called canvas context, which equals to the 2D context of main canvas. So what it means here is that we're gonna get the 2D context. That means we're drawing on the flat surface instead of in a 3D space. You know, the thing will return a two-dimensional context which is called the canvas context that we just defined. So why are we using a context? Why don't we just use the main canvas? Because that's that's the property of canvas. You need to get its context in order to edit its properties. So anyway, enough talking. We will do canvas context fill style. That means the color of the background equals to, let's say, canvas background. And also it's stroke style, which means the color of the border equals to CMVS BD, which is the border color. And now, after we set the fill style and stroke style, which means the background color and the border color, we will actually need to draw the actual canvas, fill the actual canvas with the settings that we just set. So we will do CMVS CTX context fill rect. That means fill the rectangle, and it will start with 0 0, which means the x-axis, the x coordinate and the y coordinate of the canvas, and because we were gonna fill it as a whole canvas, so it will start from the leftmost top left corner of the canvas, which is 0 0 in terms of coordinate, and then it needs a width, as you can see here. It needs a width, so we can do 300, of course, because we set it to 300. But for better management purposes, if we want to edit the height and the weight later, sorry, why do I keep saying weight? The height and the width later, it will be kind of messy because we have to change a lot of things. So we can just write main canvas. We will get its width, and we will also get its height. Actually, let me put a space here so you guys can see more clearly. So what I did here is that the x-axis, y-axis, the width, how big the rectangle should be, how wide the rectangle should be, and then the height, how high that rectangle should be. It should be the same as our canvas because we want to fill our canvas with the rectangle. And also, except from the background, we also need stroke, like the border. it also needs an x-axis, a y-axis, a w-axis. A width and a height. So what we're gonna do here is same thing: 0, 0, main canvas width, main canvas height. Let me just copy and paste it here. All right. So one last thing before we run the actual JavaScript file, we have to include it in the index.html file. So what we can do here is, of course, we can put the script after the canvas is loaded. So src snake.js. So we can put it over here after the canvas is loaded. But I don't actually like to use this because it sometimes makes finding the script messy. So I like to put the script in the head section. Now the problem of this is that the head section gets executed before the body section gets executed. So what will happen is that the script will be run before the canvas is loaded. That means the script will refer to non-existent, element, because the canvas has not been loaded the time the script is run. So to fix this problem, we can add a defer attribute, which means this script will be run after the document is loaded. This will solve the problem of referring to non-existent elements. So let's go ahead and run this. See what happens. Here, you can actually see that there is a canvas over here, and even if you guys can tell the difference, it still has a white background, and it will be white even if you change the background color. To further prove this, let's write a small section of our CSS file. Oops. Let's change the background color to let's see, aqua. Here, link style sheet. All right, so let's refresh the page. As you can see, even if the background is the aqua color, the background of the canvas will still stay white. So that won't change. It's now transparent, and just want to prove that. All right, so thanks guys. This will be the second episode of snakegame tutorial with Frank. And in this episode we learned to draw a canvas and put the background and border color onto it. And in the next episode we will be talking about how to draw the snake and put the snake parts over there and stuff like that. So hope to see you guys in the next episode.